So hello everybody, for those who don't know me, I am Tori. I'm the overnight co-manager. I'd like to start off this afternoon by asking, by a show of hands, how many of you use the break room at work? Alright, that's a significant amount. Well, how many of you talk to other employees during that time? What did some of you talk about during your break? Show of hands.
We talked about the football game the other night, today.
We talked about customers and things that we've had to deal with throughout the day.
Talked about my kids.
We talked about just common sense that people don't have and the stupidity you see every day at Walmart.
Yeah.
We talked about how Judy in Produce talks to herself.
All right, thank you. Thanks for being honest.
Thanks for being honest.
If you don't necessarily, I saw some of you didn't raise your hand, if you don't necessarily go into the break room, or you just do go in just for a second, you always overhear people talking. So what are some instances of you, what do you hear people talk about? Okay.
Gossiping about other people on the floor.
Exactly.
Just complaining about customers.
Mm-hmm.
People, we complain about our coworkers, or people complain about their coworkers.
We wish they got more money.
Yes, that's always a big one. All right, I know as a manager myself, I just go in and grab lunch real quick and heat it up, and I still hear all of these conversations and try not to partake, but you always hear them. I want to define grapevine as the informal transmission of information, gossip, or rumor from a person to another person. So throughout today's meeting, I want to discuss two things: the problems caused by the informal line of communication, otherwise known as the grapevine, and what managers can do to either prevent it or take action. So the grapevine is often caused by things such as boredom and poor communication within the company, from managers down to the cashier or the custodians and across departments. And also the curiosity to determine what is going on within the organization, different problems and changes that we're having. The use of the grapevine to fill in any holes in the inadequate communication within the workplace leads to problems like we are currently experiencing. The grapevine is uncontrolled and fast. Information, it can travel like that, like we just discussed in the break room. You can hear one thing about a change that might be happening, but it can get misconstrued like a telephone line, if anyone ever played that as a kid. It is often inaccurate, and it can turn into dangerous things. It leads to hostility for lower end employees towards management, higher end, and employees become more engaged in talking about rumors rather than working, which is often a case when I started as a cashier. People are supposed to redline, which is stand out in the aisles, as you guys know, and fix up everything and make sure everything's looking good and take care of the customers. Well, people would end up talking to each other about rumors rather than doing that and getting work done. What we need to work on now is dealing with these things. The key for managers is to remember that the grapevine does exist. I mean, it's going to exist no matter what you do, so knowing that it exists is very important. You need to know the purpose and the functions, so why it happened, the motivations behind people talking about this, before you can take the next step. You can't, without knowing, you can't move on. You need to devote time at every staff meeting for employees to ask questions and subjects that may be bothering them, so that they can get it out in the air instead of going behind people's backs and talking about them or spreading rumors. Another way you can do this is by acting promptly. We want to start holding training programs for employees on the nature of rumors, so that we can stop it before it starts. And a major thing is calling an emergency staff meeting like I have done today, and within this meeting addressing the issue right up front, figuring it out, allowing staff members to talk and discuss, but only after given the exact facts and stuff that you need to know to clear the situation up. But there's also situations that aren't too bad about rumors. So you have to know that meaning that times the grapevine has determined what employees are truly thinking and feeling about changes, so we can use that to our advantage. We can use that to know if the change is good or bad. I, along with other co-managers and the store manager, care about how the employees feel, how every manager and every employee feels, and enacting changes in policies. And you need to, with that, you need to hear feedback. So that's why we have emergency staff meetings. Does anyone else have like suggestions on how to deal with like the rumor mill and like actions we can take besides emergency staff meetings and stuff like that? Go ahead, Bert.
I think it's important for the managers to let the employees know that they're not gonna be criticized or actions, I guess negative actions will be taken upon them if they do voice their opinions, because I know that some people don't like to share things with people higher than them because they don't wanna like face like repercussions, I guess. So letting people know that they can speak up and speak their mind in a respectful way.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Starting a Tori's employee blog where employees can go online and vent, and you know, whoever's higher up can look at the problems, assess the situation, and maybe go from there, but no one's actually being singled out.
So
But
kind
you
of
know
like
what-
an anonymous kind of thing where they can vent, and that's a great idea.
Kind of off what Madison said, maybe there can be a suggestion box or something that people can put idea, if they're frustrated with something or ideas to improve, they can put their ideas in the box and it can be anonymous, so, and then, yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe even somewhat like the blog, have a question type blog, where if employees do hear a rumor maybe about getting bigger bonuses, instead of all rumoring it to each other, ask on the question blog to find out if it's actually true.
Yeah, and
So
then
then
have
it'll,
someone like respond to those
Yeah,
maybe.
so
or-
it'll clear the air.
All right, that's good. All right, well, that was all good information and very helpful, and we could probably use some, if not most of that. Overall, as a team, we need to work on being more upfront and timely with the information that we are giving to our employees, so that it cuts down on rumors and things that we hear through the grapevine, so to speak. As a wise person once said, leaders in any organization need to be aware of the grapevine and ready to prune it when necessary. So now with that said, let's get back out there and so we can keep up with our monthly sale goals that we've been exceeding expectations for.